Hey everyone, it's JT. So yesterday I did a video on the difference between being a pontificator and a practitioner, especially here on LinkedIn. And a lot of you are avoiding using LinkedIn the way you need to because you're very fearful of coming across like a pontificator. So today I promised you 3 things you can do to make sure you look like a practitioner here on LinkedIn now and beyond. So for 2020, these are my 3 tips. I need you to understand LinkedIn is not a social network. It is a social marketplace. That is its now intention and its goal. 660 million users and counting. It's going the way of Facebook. It's going to have 1 billion people on there. You are a business of one. So this is your yellow pages. This is where you have to present yourself to the world. And if you don't do it, you are going to miss out on job opportunities. And more importantly, you're going to lose credibility. This is a reputation management platform. We hear about personal branding all the time. Well, that's what that is, reputation management. And if you want to come across as a real, true expert, good at your craft, a practitioner, right? A humble, powerful, effective person, not a pontificator, a blowhard, then you need to know how to use this platform correctly in 2020 and beyond. So the first tip that I'm going to give you is to make sure that you do not write your profile in the third person. And I actually wrote an entire LinkedIn article for LinkedIn on this. I'm going to put it in the link below. You'll see why when you are in a third person, when you talk about it, you come across so badly. I give you an example that will make sure that you never do this again. You write your profile in the first person. It's you, okay? So read that. Second tip, you have got to start doing long form posting. Now this isn't writing articles per se. You don't have to write an article, but you do need to curate content and post it on LinkedIn. So what do I mean by curate? Well, as a practitioner, as somebody who's really good at your craft, as somebody who studies hard and geeks out and wants to constantly improve, I know you're taking in information like articles and videos and other things to educate yourself, right? Ongoing lifelong learning. You should be taking those articles and videos that really resonate with you, that taught you something that you think are powerful. Maybe you agree with them or you disagree with them. As a practitioner, when you have a strong reaction to a piece of content, you should be posting it in your feed and you should be explaining why. That's the long form, not one sentence. It gives me a nice detailed explanation as if you and I were in a conversation together and you were telling me why this stuff mattered to you, why this really got to you. In a good way or a bad way, I don't care. But you want to explain that in the long form. And then at the end, invite anybody that's taken the time to read the long form post to post in the comments below their thoughts, or ask them a question, or give them an exercise to do, something in there to engage them, just like you were in face-to-face conversation. All right, and then attach that video or article to it. Now, what that's going to do is push out into the universe and make people aware of what you care about. And the name of my company is Work It Daily. When you do this Monday through Friday on LinkedIn, week after week after week, when you make this a habit, long form content, not only will it get easy, you'll come in and you'll set aside 10 minutes a day and you'll do it, but you will see results. And I know that because I practice what I preach. I do this every day on LinkedIn, and what it's gotten me is instead of me pushing things out, people are bringing things to me, opportunities, all sorts of things. It didn't happen overnight, but this is like anything. When you build a habit, when you're consistent, brick by brick, you build the house and suddenly you've got this beautiful house, right? Well, that's what I'm asking you to do here. This is your reputation. You're going to build it brick by brick in the form of a long post here on LinkedIn, just a long form content, and share something. When you share and give value every single day, it will make a difference. Now, here's what you want to think about. In marketing, we know it takes about 9 to 20 times for a message to sink in with someone. So the other reason you need to be doing this every day is your colleagues aren't going to see every post that you do. But if you do it every day, Monday through Friday, over a period of time, eventually they're probably going to see 9 of them, 20 of them, and then they are going to make the connection. You are a practitioner of this particular skill or industry or job. And when an opportunity comes along, they're going to remember the person they know that talks about that all the time, that shares really good information about that all the time, that person on LinkedIn, and you want that to be you. That's how this process works. And that's why that's the number 2 tip, and it's so important to do in LinkedIn on 2020 and beyond as it gets bigger and bigger. Now, the last tip, the third tip, is to always take the time to comment back on the people that comment on your long form post. So I always set time aside, usually right after I've posted something on LinkedIn, I go in and I check, and any of the initial commenters, I immediately comment back. I like anything that people have said that I agree with, but anybody that's taken the time, 30 seconds to a minute out of their day to think about and write their perspective, I want to acknowledge that. That's currency. And I want to acknowledge that they've given that to me. So, I'll take a moment to write it back. I'll tag them in my response so that I know they're going to get a notification that I responded to their comment. And I do that every single day. And I do that, by the way. People often wonder, well, JT, you have spent a lot of time on LinkedIn. I have a lot of followers. I'm so lucky for all of you, but a lot of people think that's not me. That's me, my friends. That's me responding back to you. So that's helped me build this into a platform where I can engage, have meaningful conversations here on this social marketplace, and have people come to me with ideas and opportunities and things. That's how I've been able to do it. And it doesn't cost me anything to do the 3 things I just described. So these are the things you've got to do in 2020 and beyond. And I'm going to say something right now. 99% of you are going to listen to this video and go, oh yeah, it makes sense, I get it, and not do anything about it. I now want to talk to the 1% that do. So the 1% that do, I want you to think about coming and joining me inside Work It Daily. Because the Work It Daily players, the people that want to level up in their game, that's who's joining our private micronet. And those are the people that are getting the coaching that they need and are surrounded by A players like you who want to embrace this, understand it, and knock it out of the park. They want the career insurance in 2020 and beyond. They know a market correction is coming. They want to make sure they stay relevant for a lifetime. If that sounds like you, then I'm going to put a link below and you should check out Work It Daily because I want you to come work with us because that is going to make a huge difference for you and you're the exact kind of person we want on our squad, okay? So go check it out. Think about joining the Work It Daily micronet. With that in mind, for the rest of you, tomorrow I'm going to explain why it's going to become so important that you understand how to leverage social tools in 2020. There are no more social networks. There is not a thing called a social network anymore. Please understand that. And I will explain that in tomorrow's video. Networking is how you choose to use a social tool. And some social tools are really going to be useful and others are not. So I'm going to go over the history of that tomorrow and why you're spinning your wheels on a lot of platforms trying to make it a social networking tool when it's never going to give you the return on the investment that other tools would give you. And for me, it's all about efficiency. So I think it's really important to share that all with you. So come back tomorrow for that video and come learn about how to develop a network on social platforms. Okay? All right. Good luck with those 3 tips. Questions, comments below. You know I love to hear them. And I will see you really soon in my next video.